What's going on, everybody? My name is Aiden and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Weekly, where we take a look at the previous week the Bulls faced, discuss the positives and the negatives and everything in between, give some awards out, which I think personally are going to be a little bit more easier to do. And then obviously discuss the strengths and the weaknesses, what's to come, yada yada, you get the idea. But before we get any further, if you like the video and you want to see more from me, drop a like, drop a follow, and or subscribe if you are new, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls, their previous week, and what's to come. We got a home stretch, ladies and gentlemen, to come, so positives or negatives aside, a few games at home could go really good or really bad. Let's hope that the Bulls can defend home court, because that will be very important. Regardless, we had I guess 3 games to look forward to, with 2 of them being at home. And we ended up going 2-1, so a positive week. You know what? That's my expectation now, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I want to see every week. A positive week. That's all I want. Whether it's, 5-4. I don't think we're going to play 7 games in a week, but, maybe 3-2, 2-1. 3-0, whatever it is, just positive, in my opinion, is where I want to see each and every week go into. I don't like negative weeks, especially when it's really bad losses in those weeks. So, like the Pacers game, for example, was a pretty bad loss. Anyway, before we get to that, we did verse the San Antonio Spurs to begin the week. We won this game 114-110. Victor Wembanyama played in this game. The last time we played the Spurs, he was nowhere to be seen. Did not play the game. We dominated points in the paint-wise. In this game, it was definitely much more of a challenge. Wembanyama's a heck of a guy, a heck of a player. The Spurs, when he's on that team as well, I'm not even just saying it's Victor Wembanyama himself, but he allows everybody else to be better because he poses such a threat on both ends of the court that it makes everybody else's guys' job easier. And they definitely brought the fight to the Bulls. It was a really strong fourth quarter in the end. The Spurs choked the game, is what I would like to say. And the Bulls steamrolled them in the fourth quarter to win the game by by the nick of the teeth. Just a very close margin. Kobe White posterizer is definitely the one thing I'm going to take away from that game. There was a beautiful dunk from him, and he should be very happy with that one. And the Bulls get the first win of the week. But then, of course, following suit, the Pacers game, pretty bad. 129-113, the Bulls lost. Dominated in every quarter except for one. The fourth quarter. That's it. That's all I got to say. We got destroyed in every single quarter in that game. We deserved to lose. And it was not great. And you thought the original, the guys that always cook us should be cooking us again. Wasn't necessarily to be, ladies and gentlemen. The Pacers had other guys to step up and, with Halliburton getting 13 assists, and they were dominating us in terms of ball movement. There's not much to say. When any team has the assist numbers that the Pacers had in that game, I find it damn near impossible that they would lose the game. So you got to give credit to the Pacers there. Ball movement was on point. Everybody was getting involved, and they won the game. Fair enough. We move on to the next one. We can't seem to get a finger hold on that Pacers team yet. Maybe if there is another game we can play against them, we can walk out on top. The revenge game against the Washington Wizards, pretty comfortable, 138-105. Again, I say as much as it was the Bulls playing really well, the Wizards' defense was so bad it was not even funny. They were so bad defensively. They basically gave us what we wanted all night long, and you give that to any team and they're going to steamroll you the entire way. Wizards need to improve defensively. The Bulls do too, to be fair, but I think the Wizards have now overtaken us as the worst defensive team in the NBA. I think that they've been the worst for a while, but I like to say we're the worst to be a little bit dramatic, to be honest. But still, we're pretty bad. We're one of the worst, to say the least. The Wizards might be the worst. So, that is what happened this week. Time to give out some awards. Must Improve of the Week, Sixth Man of the Week, Defensive Player of the Week, and Player of the Week in general. So, the first thing I'm going to do for the Must Improve, I'm going to turn to the game that we lost. I'm going to pick the worst player that played in that game. You want to know the reason why I'm going to do that? Because when the Bulls win, and in both games they won by pretty impressive fashion, it seems to me like I shouldn't give Must Improve to those games. So, sadly, because he has had some decent games in the past, the worst player that I think played on that against the Pacers was Patrick Williams. 21 minutes played, 2 points and 3 rebounds. What I did like about Patrick Williams is that he responded well after that game. A bad game, a really, 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 really bad game. Another game where people are going to start talking about him, saying he's getting paid so much money to do a lot better and he's not producing. At least we can say, against the Wizards, He may have not had the best game there either, but I at least saw him trying to be aggressive. I saw him try to get to the paint. I saw him try to be physical. You know what? He's never going to be the first option on the team. So if you're assuming that's what Patrick Williams will be, he's just not going to be that guy. But to respond is what we want. And he responded. So must improve of the week? Sure, I'll give it to Patrick Williams. But I also liked his response with the Wizards game. So there you go. That's my must improve. My defensive player of the week. Very easily and very consistently, it goes to Lonzo Ball. Now, Lonzo Ball is also in contention for 6th man of the week. I'll tell you why I'm not giving it to him in that one. What I like about Lonzo Ball is that his defense leads to offense. He's the type of guy where when he gets a defensive stop, it normally leads to a transition opportunity on the other end. That's how gifted he is. He can make something defensively lead to something great offensively. Sometimes when you play good defense, the ball goes out of bounds, you tip it out of bounds and stuff like that. Or maybe when you block a shot, it gets blocked out of bounds. With Lonzo, what I loved about him this week, for most of the games, he got at least 1 or 2 interceptions that led to a fast break opportunity. He is my defensive player of the week purely because of that, but I'm loving what he's been able to produce on both ends of the court this week. I don't want to say it just yet, but I think the shackles are starting to come off a bit with Lonzo Ball. What I mean is, he's been restricted for a while. Maybe minutes-wise, he'll still be restricted, but he's starting to play a little bit more freely now. And maybe that's in his own mind. He's seeing himself being somewhat healthy for a long period of time. And now the confidence is coming back. The NBA form is coming back. Maybe it is because the Bulls are limiting his role. I don't know what it is. But he's starting to get a little bit more... He's starting to play a little bit more freely. And I've enjoyed it over the last 2-3 games. So congratulations to Lonzo. But my 6th man of the week, I can't ignore this guy any longer. Jalen Smith. So easy to decipher. My man came in this week, played really physical. Defensively, he was very solid. He was flying around the court. He was making his threes, which is very important for him because he shoots a lot of them for a backup center. So when he makes them, it makes the world of difference. And overall, with him and Lonzo Ball, I think those two were easily the contenders for 6th man of the week. I'm very happy to say that I'm giving it to Jalen Smith. Congratulations, man. Well deserved. And I guess for the player of the week, difficulties, eh? Difficulties upon difficulties. It's not that difficult. It's Zach LaVine, ladies and gentlemen. You thought I was really going to contemplate this? Zach LaVine, over the last 2 weeks, over the last month, has had some incredible games. 30-plus point games, super efficiency games. When he didn't have a 30-plus point game, his facilitating was on point. He has been unbelievable for the Bulls. I don't think people can truly recognize how good he has been. Everybody wants to, say, let's get rid of him, let's trade him, yada, yada, yada. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. I can't tell you the answer. But what I can tell you is that I know when someone's playing great. Zach LaVine is playing great. The stats do not lie. Go take a look at his previous games. They've been unbelievable. He's had such an incredible run, and it's impacted in us going 18-20 so far in our season. It's still not a winning record by any stretch of the means, but we're still close to 500, and a lot of that has to go to Zach LaVine. Without him, who knows where we would be right now as a team. We'll figure it out, maybe, but right now, who knows? And it's an easy choice. Okay, home stretch to come. First game in a couple of hours' time against the Sacramento Kings. DeMar DeRozan is coming back to Chicago. I hope we have the red carpet out for him. I hope that there's a nice tribute for him. I hope the fans of Chicago, and I really believe in my soul because I know Chicago fans, they're great. They're the best. I think they're going to give him a nice reception, and I think they're going to welcome him back to Chicago with open arms. And I sincerely hope that DeMar DeRozan can remember and cherish a moment like this, because I think this is what the NBA is all about. You give your all to a team for 3 years. Yeah, it didn't take us anywhere. Yeah, a lot of people did want to see him go in the end, but at least we can recognize the effort he put into this team. I hope that's what we see. I feel positive that's what we'll see as well. That should be a fun one to watch. Then we got a game against the New Orleans Pelicans at home. I'm pretty sure Zion Williamson and the crew are somewhat healthy at the moment, and I would see this as a winnable game, but definitely probably the hardest game we have to look forward to this week. Back-to-back against the Atlanta Hawks. Another winnable game. We always seem to have great games against Atlanta. Let's hope in this game we don't give up 50 points in the fourth quarter. We might be able to win that one. Then the last game is going to be against the Charlotte Hornets at home. We've beaten them twice. Can we finally see LaMelo and Lonzo play together, play against each other? Let's hope this is the game we can see it. That's my Bulls Weekly. 4 games, I think it was this week. Was it 4? I think it was 4. 2-2. That's my prediction. What do you think? Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay tuned for more. Take care, and peace.